Before we began our production, we prepared by researching animation. This started with a presentation at the beginning of the course, which we produced animation. This was an introduction to animation and also helped us to learn about the different types of animation, such as stop motion. In preparation for planning our animation, we did a lot of research into facial expressions, mouth movements and body language, as we knew that these were key features in making a successful animation piece. To do this, we looked at many worksheets showing the types of facial expressions, mouth movements and body language that can be expressed through animation and how they can be expressed. We also researched existing animations such as Tom and Jerry and produced our own hand puppets to use body language and facial expression in order to tell a story with no dialogue. When we came to planning our radio trailer and poster, we looked at our existing media and looked at the conventions of these in order to get some ideas for our own radio trailer and poster. Before we began our animation, we attended a BBC 21cc workshop where we learnt how to use stop motion animation. Our three short films that we thought were influential to us were Baby Dogs, which was stop motion, Tom and Jerry, cell animation, and Baby Dinosaurs, which was also stop motion. For all three influential short films, we carried out a textual analysis covering the mise-en-scene, including lighting, costume, colour, setting, facial expressions, camera angles, and how the meaning was created to attract audiences. We found that modern animation conventions of human genres such as horror, comedy, and fantasy were very complex and reveal a lot of information without any dialogue. This is done through facial expression, body language, and the fact that most modern animation uses advanced technology which improves the quality of the animation. Also, animation most often gives its characters human qualities so as to relate to the audience. In order to conform to conventions of animation, we gave the snooker balls human characteristics and also a human setting of a snooker table, which is something the audience want to understand. Our animation will target the peer group of 18-year-olds and young adults. This will be done by using adult humour, that day-to-day stereotypical humour such as an audience would recognise. In order to target our audience, we produced questionnaires to find out whether gender or age would determine the popularity of animation and whether people preferred things such as dialogue or soundtracks. We planned dates that we would film and record as we'd done some of our own filming during our free periods at school. When we came to filming, we put our snooker table onto another table so that it was a higher level and made it easier to move our characters. We made our characters using Nuplast and modelled them ourselves. The voices for our trailers and film were mostly done by ourselves, but when we needed the other people to do them for us, we made sure that they were free on the day that was suitable to us. We created storyboards in order to make our filming period more organised. We did not create a shot list. We shot our frames in chronological order. We found this best suited us. We did not log our shots as we took them, as the software was able to do this for us, as it logged our shots in order. There is no need to use a shot list when shooting in chronological order. We wrote a script for our animation. This helped when reading our voiceover. Our location setting is a snooker table, and we therefore did not need to scout for a location or take any photographs. As a team, we have managed our time successfully. However, due to some software not being tested and ordered, this has put a constraint on our production, affecting time. The research and planning we have carried out throughout this module has all been published onto our online blog. Some elements are not in chronological order, however the information is all there. We made every effort to put it on the blog and make it look professional and clear to the audience. We have used the internet to research and learn how to create a blog and upload files and images onto it. We have used two different animation software programs, DivX and Stop Motion Pro V7. We have also used Windows Movie Maker to edit and finalise our production. Photoshop was also used to create our film poster. It was totally new to both of us, so we had to teach ourselves how to use it and its many layers. We used Audacity to create sound for the film and radio trailer alongside Windows Movie Maker to add the official sound to the film. As a team, we had very different strengths, which we are very aware of. My skills work well alongside Tom's, organisation and technical strengths. We work very well together, as we are always open in our discussion and honest in our opinions. We bounce well off each other, which I think is key to any group success. We discuss everything and conduct each part of this work as a team. It was an enjoyable experience, and neither of us would ever want to work with anyone else. Mad Dog Productions forever is truly a saying I will live by for the rest of my life. The shots in our production varied, as we used a tripod for when the characters were speaking. We used a lot of panning shots to show the table and the rest of the characters in their positions on the table. Due to this, the camera became unsteady at times. However, it is not noticeable, as the audience focuses on the movement of the characters. Also, we have a lot of close-up and extreme close-ups, using a lot of zoom. This was to show character expression. However, now and again the camera appeared a bit unsteady. In framing our shots, we tried to ensure that only the snooker table and the characters were in the shot. However, at some points we felt necessary to capture some of the people moving around the table. This is done in order to create the natural effect of a snooker club. However, if we were to refilm it, we would ensure that this did not happen. After watching it back, it did not look very professional, and audience members watching it also may feel the same way, that it looked slightly messy. One of the shots showed a hand in the frame, so we ensured we took this out, and we double checked all our frames to make sure there were no unnecessary hands in the way. We used a variety of shot distances to ensure that the characters' facial expressions and movements could clearly be seen by the audience. We also ensured that the medium and close-up shots showed specific characters being shown, for example the one speaking at the time, and the long-range shots showed the whole action on the table. The material was appropriate to the task, as I felt that we had conformed to our target audience. Also, we stuck to a brief and decided to keep it simple by making a comedy portraying the lives of male and female average Joes in life. For our mise-en-scène, it was basic, as the set was only a snooker table. In terms of costume and character costume, was only hair, eyebrows and a smile. The only props we had were a snooker cue to create the playing the game effect. For lighting, we used a light to create a gloomy snooker club effect. This sets the setting of the snooker club. We put huge effects into our characters' facial expressions and movements of their mouths, showing who's talking, and it shows the reactions of the events around them. All of our characters were designed and created ourselves. We created them out of Nuplast. This was because in our film research, the best and original animations were made from Nuplast. It was films like Wallace and Gromit and Chicken Run that inspired to use the Nuplast idea. The advantage of using this was we could change the characters' facial expressions. There were no costumes needed for our characters. However, the characters had things to make them stand out. These are special features. For example, our character, the Major, had sunglasses, a shaped beard and a cigarette to show his character. This is to make him cool, to give him the cool look. We thought that there were people that could relate to him or knew someone that they could relate to. Too cool for school character.